They were causing health problems.
But the problem, respectfully, is that your husband is the least qualified Department of Health and Human Services head that we've had in history.
I do not.
I think that's a very dangerous.
Why is he less qualified than an economist?
I think that he
possible?
is less.
You ever notice how The View never actually lets a conservative guest finish a full thought? The moment someone starts making sense, they panic and jump to the next topic. And that's exactly what happened here. Cheryl Hines was trying to make a clear point. But instead of answering her question, they tried to talk over her and move on. It's the oldest trick in the book. And what she said was simple. If her husband, RFK Jr., isn't qualified, then who is? That's a fair question. But see, the left doesn't like fair questions because fair questions expose their weak arguments. They love to preach about qualifications, but it's not about what's on a resume. It's about whether you actually have the common sense to apply what you claim to know. When you watch The View, you see it every time. A double standard in plain sight. They treat certain guests with respect and others like punching bags.
You talk about.
I am not, Judge.
Nobody is.
Oh, yeah.
Did you just point at me?
Yeah. Opening statement, which was how horrible it is that Donald Trump is talking about
that's
all
what you,
of these
I'm
people.
sorry,
You know
baby,
what
that's
I
what
think
you
is
said.
horrible?
You said,
Whoopi, you know what's horrible?
that
when
it's okay.
shouldn't be here.
He opens up an investigation into Russian collusion.
I came here. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
But how
and to
about
be
that?
honest, look, we talk about a lot of things, and I actually.
But how about the Attorney General?
I'm trying to answer your question.
Okay.
And I think that's what he means by fake news.
You said that
when
it was
people who shouldn't
okay.
be here end up murdering the children of American citizens.
You know what's horrible? When the president of the United States whips up people to beat the hell out of people.
No.
Say goodbye. I'm done.
When it's one of their favorites, they nod along. When it's someone they disagree with, they pile on, interrupt, and twist words. Cheryl stayed calm, though. She held her ground and kept reminding them of the facts they didn't want to hear. And honestly, I wish she had pushed back even harder. Because when you're on a show like that, the loudest voice tends to win the clip, not the truth. Still, she handled herself with grace and made her point clear. The problem isn't that conservatives don't have answers, it's that the media refuses to listen.
The problem, respectfully, is that your husband is the least qualified Department of Health and Human Services head that we've had in history. I think that's a very dangerous.
Why is he less qualified than an economist?
I think
How is
that he
possible?
is less qualified.
He has spent his career studying toxins, studying people's health, fighting for one guy who was using Roundup for his job.
He has also spread a lot of misinformation, a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion.
False.
And I think it's just a very dangerous thing. I say it with the utmost respect.
Some of it's good and some of it's not. That's the point.
Listen, we all have different views here.
Yes.
And when you say, misinformation, disinformation, we could go back to COVID when...
He's connecting circumcision to autism.
May I finish?
She's so stupid.
When Fauci people were saying when you get the vaccine, you cannot transmit COVID. It will stop COVID. And that was disinformation, misinformation.
We were also still learning about it. It was a novel virus we've never encountered before.
Right.
Because now the doctors will acknowledge that
and
you
Dr.
can't.
Fauci has a medical degree.
But at the time, they were censoring Bobby because Bobby said, where's the science to show us this? And there wasn't any. But people attacked him and said, you're wrong. So it's like, let's take a step back. I know that's your opinion, and that's okay.
Cheryl, one thing that I think we can all agree on, and you're a big fan of with his, is
what can we all agree
the MAHA
on?
movement, Make America Healthy Again. You praise your husband's campaign to make food and baby formula safer, which I think is something everyone can get on board with. Tell us about that.
Well, thank you. I am very proud of Bobby, and he has worked really hard to get a lot of petroleum-based food dyes out of our food, which also, and finish the thought, even baby formula, now we're finding out there's arsenic, there's lead. So the question is, who is running HHS when they allowed lead and arsenic in a baby formula. How is that person not
Well, two
dangerous?
wrongs don't make a right.
No. Well, I'm saying Bobby is the one getting this out.
I know. Well, good for him. On
you know,
that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Can we clear one thing before you go?
Yes.
Hold
So you don't
on.
have to make any jokes about it. Does-
Let her talk. Why y'all won't let her talk? Because when she make a point, you try to go to the next topic. No. Answer the doggone question. She said, if my husband is not the most qualified, and you say that he's not, then who's more qualified for him letting lead and all this other stuff in baby formula? How? This is the thing that bothers me about qualification or non-qualifying things. It don't matter what a resume say. If you don't have common sense to employ the things that you allegedly learn, what good is it? Roll the clip.
Does he or does he not have a brain worm?
It ate just a little bit of his brain and died, so don't worry.
So it's a dead brain worm.
What died? Wait, what? The brain died? Wait, wait.
It's a callback to the campaign.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, book. You've got to read my book. It's just you will. That was just one tiny headline in a mountain of crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
So, come back.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait. No, because we don't often get people on this show who we can ask these questions to.
No.
And I appreciate that you came on.
We'd
and
love
so
to.
I'm saying, come back. You know?
My husband
love for
was
your
going to come
husband to
on,
come
and
on.
I said maybe don't.
No, because you know what? If we can have the discussion back and forth,
Yes.
it then becomes
Discussion back and forth.
They can decide what they
Yes,
believe, and they're not just hearing one side.
I would love that. Thank you.
You could feel the frustration in that moment because it's what every viewer has felt watching The View. The second a conservative guest starts making too much sense, the hosts scramble to interrupt or change the subject. Cheryl Hines finally got someone on her side saying what everyone was thinking. Let her talk. And here's the truth. When she asked that question, it hit a nerve. If my husband isn't the most qualified, then who is? That's not a rhetorical jab. It's a real challenge to a political establishment that's failed Americans again and again. Baby formula shortages, rising costs, lead in drinking water. Where exactly has the so-called qualified leadership been during all this? That's what the left doesn't want to talk about. They'd rather argue credentials and play identity politics than talk results. Because once you bring results into the picture, they lose the argument. Qualification means nothing if you can't use common sense, if you can't protect families or fix the basic problems this country is facing. And that's what makes Cheryl's pushback powerful. She didn't come with political talking points. She came with common sense. Pause. Something Washington and shows like The View seem to have run out of.